What is up, my fellow Planeswalkers? It's Hermogenes, back at it again with a Magic the Gathering Arena news update. So, there was a live stream, depending on your time zone. It could have been last night, yesterday, or just this afternoon. But it was their thoughts or updates regarding the Magic the Gathering Arena economy. And I have very strong opinions about this topic. Like, I won't be talking about the whole article. I'm just going to be talking about the key parts. And again, this is unscripted and unedited, and these opinions and thoughts are my own. And if you if you agree with it or disagree with it, please put it in the comment down below because I do want to have some talks regarding this issue. So, without any further ado, actually, before that, there's one small change I'd like to talk about, and it is in the patch notes. So if you check here in arena-based set legality changes, so there are certain cards that are played often in standard at the moment, and they are digital only. The one I can think of is like Hollowed Priest. So if I understand this correctly, those cards can no longer be played in a best of one standard game. They're only legal in digital only formats. So yeah, uh, if you're gonna be if you're using a deck with any of those arena based set cards, do adjust accordingly because this is a pretty big change because there are some playable arena based set cards that are pretty viable still in standard. So yeah, now let's move on to the bigger chunk of the video, which is the Magic the Gathering arena economy in 2022. So going down to their vision, TLDR for this one is their Magic the Gathering arena is meant to be their their game for players who want to play but do not want to spend, and it's Magic the Gathering on the go. So that is more or less their mindset when they're making changes. They're looking to engage players who do not have the money to play the actual Magic the Gathering paper card game, and they made it for people who want to play it on the go. So people Magic the Gathering online is also online, but you can't really play it without spending money. You can't really play it on commute or on your phone. So this is what Magic the Gathering Arena is to them. Uh, and it's summarized in their one sentence. MTG Arena's goal is to provide a fast, fun Magic experience for everyone anywhere. And to me, it's like it's all fine and dandy. Like, yeah, it makes sense. Magic the Gathering is meant to be this, but then if you read through their article, it kind of goes against it. Like, okay, we're kind of moving past our division now, and I would like to talk about the biggest chunk of this video, which is Magic the Gathering Economy 101. So this include how they described it or how they defined the arena would be the ways players earn and spend various resources they have at their disposal to grow their collection and play games. This includes the resources themselves, such as golds, gems, the cards you get, and wild cards. So the ways in which those are earned, such as through quests, event rewards, dailies, and weekly runs, and yes, monetary transactions. So they are already talking about how for them the economy is how players spend their resources and how players get their cards. But then they're actually missing one key part in this definition, which is draft. In most free to play trading card games, most players earn their currency or most players earn their collection by playing draft. And they did not talk about it in this whole economy article. Um, so we move on to their overarching goal and philosophies. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's keep it first. But yeah, I've my thoughts are really on draft with this one, and my thoughts on the use of money in this one is very, very strong. So now we encourage healthy player behaviors. They say that they think that the once a day role option that lets player tailor their experience is if one of the quests don't fit their preferred playstyle. So they're saying that because of the style of questing, it's it feels like they're forcing the people to play to play to win. So it's not healthy. Then why don't they do something about it, right? Because you have to, the best way, economically speaking, the best way to earn a collection is to play 15 to play games till you get 15 wins each day. That's the most economic. But then, how do you get the 15 wins if you don't have a collection to begin with, right? So here we don't want players to feel like they must play 10 hours each day to complete their daily wins to remain competitive. So yeah, they did note that. Then they believe that opening packs should be fun and having a collection should be rewarding. Magic is constantly evolving, that's true. The thing I like about Magic the Gathering versus the other trading card games is the fact that even though it is a rare card, it doesn't mean that it's good. Like there are some on paper at least in different formats. There are so many competitive decks that don't even run rares. Or if they do, they run like a playset of rare lands, maybe for a playset of a certain rare card, but that's about it. Like you didn't have to get the rare cards, you didn't have to bling out your deck to be competitive in Magic the Gathering, which is why I really like the game. And which is I think a competitive edge versus other trading card games. So MTG Arena offers a variety of events beyond the primary formats, often with deck building requirements or limitations. I actually like the quests in Magic the Gathering Arena, those side events, because you are guaranteed three, 2 to 3 rare cards, and it doesn't really require you to think as much if they do make the deck for you. Sure, it does here and there, but then uh, they're very forgiving when it comes to those kinds of requirements for those events. And good props to them. The rare cards there come from various sets, so you don't really have to be. Who knows? If you get lucky, you get a rare card that you need for a certain deck you're building, right? So I think that's okay. And again, you can't really ask for much because it is free content. So for constructed play, our focus is on deck iteration over collecting every card in the set. As such, the economy is designed around building and growing specific decks over time. So, yeah, in an ideal world, you'd want to be able to build decks, keep brewing decks, but the problem is, yeah, you don't have every card in your collection. It's you don't have they don't even give you the items you need to create these cards, and we expect players just starting out to take decks from Color Challenge. So they're saying this, and I did note a while ago in the patch notes, right? There are arena-based set cards that won't be available in standard best of one. So they're telling you to bring out the color challenge decks, but not all of them can be played in standard now. Or, they might have changed it up. They stopped using arena-based set cards for that. But yeah, in an ideal world, this should be working, right? You should be winning a few games, growing your collection, your weekly wins, your daily wins. Yeah, you could earn enough. I'd say, roughly speaking, you could probably earn 1 pack a day, but that's just 1 pack a day. And you're gonna need cards from multiple sets if you want to build a competitive deck. So we're kind of lacking there in terms of economic growth. Like the game itself has so many burn mechanisms for currency, but not enough generating mechanisms to help you. to help balance out that burn mechanism, right? So we expect this behavior from our veterans, those who have grown as players in MTG Arena or are joining as veteran Magic players. By virtue of their experience, we expect them to have an even better understanding of what they are looking to build and to have more specific card needs. We expect these players to rely more on crafting over the organic process of opening packs. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even as veteran players in Magic the Gathering, paper, everyone knows that the best way to build a deck is by buying singles. And yeah, opening packs is fun and all, but you don't necessarily buy packs. If you're thinking of building a deck, you look online, you go to your local game store, you buy the card. It's not gonna cost you like an arm and a leg to buy unless you're buying fetch lands or whatever. But econo economically speaking, it's always better to just craft or buy singles. So both scenarios assume that players who don't want to spend money will earn cards and make those changes over the course of a release season as they complete quests, unlock levels on the mastery system, participate in events, and just generally play. They will, however, need to have resources either saved from previous rewards or purchased from the store if they want to accelerate that process. Yeah. And going to the future, when we get deeper into the article, you'll understand that because of the changes they plan to implement, it just the division between free to play and pay to play just get bigger. The gap between them just get bigger, and I am not a fan of that. I am actually against it because yeah, as I said that not all decks need to run like 30 rares, but the fact that the person you're going to be fighting against, if you guys start at the same point but the other person spends the money to get those cards, you're just going to be at a disadvantage. If you're going to end up in a competitive pool, you're not going to be winning that match. Yeah, but you can argue that it's like it's not the deck, it's the player who plays the deck. Yeah, but even a player dealt with a bad hand has a lower chance of winning against a player with a, with a good deck and a bad hand, right? Just makes sense that way. You just hope that he misplays like what, five times, three times in a game to win. Players who wish to collect every card available may find collecting sets harder. In practice, we know this as a relatively small segment, but it is something we want to support. So this is the first change they're gonna make in the economy, where they're gonna have these things called mythic booster packs. They are 300 gold more expensive than the normal booster pack, but or I think if they put it in gems, it's like 150 gems more. But the difference is you're gonna be guaranteed a mythic rare. So this helps players complete who are rare completers, but are still missing mythic rare cards. The thing about mythic rares, I guess, I have yet to experience it, but if you collect everything and you get the mythic rares again, or the rares, I think, you're able to get gems in exchange. And okay, so they're introducing another burn engine to the system. Like, for those who don't understand what a burn engine is, it's in economic terms to keep inflation down. Uh, online games like MMORPG specifically have these things that require you to spend in-game currency on. So just so that gold isn't gonna be too much, they have to balance it out. So here we go. Here's one way. So people who have like 100,000 gold in their inventory means that they're pretty much secured to just keep. They're not gonna drop down. because in a week or in 2 weeks you could earn 10,000 gold. So if you're not gonna buy cosmetics, or if you're waiting for the best cosmetic you can buy, you could just keep holding on to those. So they introduced another burn engine to try to combat this by making it 300 gold more. And honestly, I think no one's gonna buy it. Personally, I wouldn't see myself buying booster packs because buying booster packs from the store itself is not worth it. Like you're just looking to, yeah, it's really just for collectors because who would who would spend 1,300 gold to build a deck for one mythic rare when the cards you need are actually rare? A bulk of Magic the Gathering decks use rare cards, not really mythic rares. So it's goes like that. It just goes out of the place. They tried to fix a problem, but it wasn't actually a problem to begin with. So yeah, Wizards of the Coast or Magic the Gathering Arena, you might want to address that. And then okay, those are my thoughts on the Mythic booster pack. In addition, we know that this structure is not ideal for players who are deck brewers, yep, and who like to build many decks in reaction to the metagame. As experimentation is more difficult in our current system, there will be some there may be some overlap with the completionist. We are also evaluating some options that will improve the ability for explorers to try decks without the full commitment of collecting and crafting all cards up front. Uh, so yeah, they even said it themselves. This is a solution to a non-problem right there, right off the bat. Because if you're trying to build a competitive scene, why are you catering to people who collect digital cards, right? It just puts the players off. The ones who just want to play the game. Why make a booster pack or a solution to a non-problem, non-issue when there are bigger problems you should be addressing, right? Uh, let's go to how do limited events factor into this? Limited's primary goal is to have fun with cards you're given from a Magic expansion. The fun can be building a deck from limited selection of cards, proving your skill at reading packs in the draft, experiencing, okay. But the events are also designed blah blah blah. Gives them extra weight. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Like they just talked about limited events being a side event, side quest, something to do on the side, but you have rank for it. Like the events are designed to be rewarding if all you want to is the play experience. That's the thing though. With limited events, people play limited because that's how they collect their cards. It's it's for them it's like getting singles. If you're There are two types of people who draft. The people who draft money and the people who draft to win. So, not gonna lie, like I fall into the middle of that. I want to win, but if I see a good card, something I can add to my collection, I take it. I don't care if it's gonna make me lose the game, but that for me that one is like that already with that card being picked up, that was already a wild card craft. So the Magic the Gathering is missing the point. Or they're just not addressing it because they're trying to avoid addressing it. With draft, people play draft to build their decks. Like I'll try to look for the article on the breakdown on which is more economic for you. It's a Reddit post. I'll try to link it down in the description about what's going to be more efficient or economic for you if it's buying packs or playing draft. But I do believe they say that if you have a consistent win rate in draft around like 50%, or if you consistently in quick draft or in premier draft, you win at least 4 matches, then it's better for you to spend your gold on draft or limited events. But yeah, Right here, they're addressing that they're just saying that limited events are just meant to be played. But they are not seeing or listening to the community where a lot of the community play draft to earn the gems, to earn packs. Because if they earn enough, the next release they have a free sealed deck. The next draft, after a while, they'd have enough money, enough gems to get a battle pass, which encourages winning, which encourages playing. Sorry, encourages playing the game even more because they're kind of locked in with the sunken cost fallacy that they have to play to make their money back or their gems back from the mastery pass. So yeah, I'm very turned off by this part, the limited how they just see limited as not part of the economic growth because a lot of people play limited because that's the best way for some or to some that's the best way to get your collection up or to get enough cards for your collection because you get vault vault uh vault progression, you get cards that you're missing in your set, you can complete incomplete sets, you can pretty much earn. Sorry about that. You can pretty much earn your way through the game and play competitively as a free-to-play player. Okay, moving on to player collections. I agree with this. Like, you don't. Why shouldn't you dust? Because as I said, all cards in Magic the Gathering are competitive or can be played. You don't need it to be rare. You don't need it to be mythic to be playable. So I kind of agree. I do agree with the you can't dust the collection because like right now when you're scrolling on your deck collection, your card collection in the game, the next set release, turns out there could have been an interaction between one card and another card. For example, right now we have our Azorius vehicles, Azorius artifacts, and then they released a card called Armed and Armored, which which makes all your vehicles become artifact creatures. So it crews all your artifact creatures. If you decided to dust that, you just lose on the interaction between those vehicles that you're getting from the new set and the card that you get from the previous set. So I'm okay with this. That we why can't you dust the collection? Because yeah, instead of thinking about which cards are worth destroying, it makes you think about it's like what cards I can build around a certain card, or if this card can fit into a new deck that you're building or you're brewing. However, the opening packs in the hopes of getting cards you want places a ton of weight. Yeah, they should really fix the vault about this. None of this includes the vault, which has morphed from a version of duplicate protection into a bonus for those who have collected lots of commons and uncommons. While not a large part of the economy, we're happy with the role it currently plays. Yeah, I just wish like the progression was a lot faster so people could get their cards better sooner. But I agree with the dusting. No dusting for Magic the Gathering. Will we ever be able to exchange lower rarity common and commons for rares or mythic rares? Nope. Yeah, that's pretty much a given. Maybe the decrease would be helpful, but it's gonna kind of mess. The exchange would be pretty messy. It's gonna ruin the economy, in my opinion. So I don't mind having not allowing like exchanges between rarities because unlike yeah, I always just go back to that argument that all cards are competitive. Not all rare cards are better than uncommons. Not all mythics are better than rares. Magic the Gathering is just really about the rarity. It's not really about the power level these cards have. Some really have big power level differences, like Hollowed Priest is common or uncommon. And then there's a rare version, which is called Voice of the Blessed, which is 2 white mana. They essentially do the same thing, but the Voice of the Blessed being rare, it had added bonuses on it. So they both get +1/+1 counters when you gain life. But the difference is Voice of the Blessed, though harder to cast because it's 2 white mana, the more counters you get, the more counters it has, it gains flying, or it gain and then it gain flying and vigilance, I believe, and then it suddenly gets indestructible when you have 10 counters on it. So yeah, there are certain power creep, power level differences between rarities, but do you need to have a Voice of the Bless? Maybe if you want to get competitive, but there are some commons and uncommons that can do the same job for half the cost, half the price. So now we're getting to the biggest part. My biggest my biggest issue with their economic plan is buy the ability to buy rare and mythic rare wild cards. So right here, well, this is currently possible just by buying packs. You'll be able to purchase a wild card bundle for 50 US dollars containing 12 rares and 4 mythic rares to finish off your current deck or kickstart your next deck. So looking at this, 12 rares, you get 3 playsets of any rare, and then you get 1 playset of a mythic rare for $50. Mind you, that is a triple A game. So yeah, um, I have spent money on the game, but I don't believe in the $50 price tag this bundle's gonna have. If it was in gems, like here's my potential solution for it is to have it in gems. Like $50 equivalent to in gems. Cause if they still want to buy it, if they want to buy it straight up, you know, spend the $50. If not, if it's in gems, people can earn their way up to it, right? Like if you have $50 lying around to spend on that, why not just buy, I don't know, a playset of, I don't know how much they are now, but a playset of Shocklands. Those go up. You sell them, you buy them, you sell them, they go up, right? So you spend the money, 50,000, 50, not 50,000, sorry, 50 US dollars to try to get these cards because you want to get competitive. That is a booster pack, a booster box, I believe. $50. Or is it a booster pack box? I'm not sure. But yeah, you're making them spend $50 to get 12 rares and 4 mythic rares, right? Like my solution, as mentioned, was just put it in gems. So if people are pissed off losing to competitive decks, if they have the gems, they just have to buy. You're still earning, right? You're still gonna earn money. Make them buy the gems from your store, and then they could use it. You could earn the gems too. If people are really good, why not reward them for being good at the game? $50, I may spend on the game, but this just put me off spending a bit more of my cash until they fix this. Because I had plans to spend again on the game, but after seeing this, maybe not for now. Because I'm waiting to see how the player base reacts when this releases. To some, it might not be a big deal, but I see it as a big deal because as a free-to-play player in some games, kind of sucks that people get that edge. Because you're thinking it's just 12 rare wild cards. But those 12 rare wild cards fix your mana base. You don't have to play tap dual lands anymore. So right off the bat, they don't need the rare cards, but if they have a better mana base, they have more consistent turns because of it, and you're pretty much screwed. And yeah, my only solution I could think of, if you guys are gonna be releasing a mythic rare or rare bundle, put it in gems. People can spend their money, like not everyone can just drop $50, but what if they could just drop $10 to complete the gems they need to buy it, right? That would be really good. Like they could afford it, you get $10, the player gets their wild cards, and you burn through their gems. I think that's a win-win. Then yeah, that's it for that very ranty part. Tabletop and digital play, they're still thinking about the arena MTG arena codes on booster packs. Then yeah, you being able to play digital and tabletop is very different. The experience is very different. And then they talk a bit of alchemy. So I'm not an alchemy player, so but I do agree with having alchemy with paper only cards because it kind or historic sorry, not alchemy, historic. They do mention it a bit here. I do like the idea of having historic with paper or non unedited, unupdated cards because some people use Magic the Gathering Arena to train for tournaments. So they get to play test decks. What if they're getting into Pioneer and they are playing cards from the set that's been released in Arena? So they could try it out on a historic. But then if the changes are on historic as well, they can't really play test the deck they want to play, right? Because they say that you should be able to play Magic the Gathering Arena and the physical card game hand in hand. But if they don't align at certain points, standard is pretty much the only way they align. You can't really use it as a playtest format, playtest form. So yeah, I'm for the historic the format that's being historic with unupdated, alchemized cards. Because it's very healthy for the paper community to get them into Magic the Gathering Arena. And who knows? They spend on Magic the Gathering paper, right? They might spend for the wild cards in Arena. So yeah, those are my thoughts again. Reiterating, um, MTG, at least how I read it, they are not addressing how draft plays a factor in community collection building card and card economy. And I do agree with the no dusting in Magic the Gathering, and very hard disagree with the $50 wildcard bundle. Put it in gems. Honestly, that's my only solution for that. Put it in gems. So people could spend a couple dollars to finish to get the whole gem set, and then they have to choose whether they want to buy the next mastery pass, right? Or if they want to spend it on wild cards. So yeah, if you like this video, like if you like more kinds of these comments of me just ranting, talking about my thoughts and opinions on certain updates with Magic the Gathering Arena, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And my socials will be in the description. I will put the link to the economy of drafting or picking or just buying packs in the description box. So yeah, and I'll catch you guys hopefully in the arena. Peace.